Hi, before we begin, I first want to let you know that there are a couple moments in this video where the microphone audio stops recording for whatever reason, and when that happens, I've added captions to make it easier to hear what I'm saying when I use the camera audio, and also, I cut in once or twice from the editing room to kind of clarify a couple points or maybe just add things that I forgot to say. Other than that, um, let's go outside.
Hello and salutations. Welcome to the latest issue where I am going to talk a little bit about how this year has been going for me so far. I don't know if I'm going to do regular check-ins like this, but if this is to become regular, then consider this episode 1. I wanted to begin today by talking about a video I released last July called Pesky Little Emotions. I hadn't seen this video since I released it, but I rewatched it again recently, and I think it's just interesting to hear how much of what I'm talking about in that video still relates to what I struggle with today, and even more interesting that I almost forgot entirely what I was talking about there, because I was going to talk about those feelings of embarrassment and shame I felt whenever I feel any sort of quote-unquote negative emotions in another video. But after watching that video again, I realized that I've already addressed such topics, and even though I don't think I was as eloquent as I would have liked to be, I think I still was able to convey what I was trying to say. I've had a pretty packed schedule for the last 2 months. I've been in rehearsal for a community theater production of Rent, and we rehearse every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday night, and Saturdays during the day. And even though I'm not called for every single rehearsal, I've been called to most of them. Throughout that, I've also been working in the day during the weekdays, generally on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, sometimes on Mondays and Wednesdays as well. And in between all of that, I am working. Sorry, bug. And in between all of that, I have 5 online classes that I'm taking asynchronously, so I have to use my free time just on those. I've been finding it hard to make time to create things for this YouTube channel. I wanted to post at least one more time in January. I had recorded all of the footage for that project, and while I was editing it, I just didn't end up liking it, so then it just got scrapped, and I haven't returned to it since. I think it's so important for me to make time for this because I really like doing this, and it's important to make time for the things you like doing, you know? And now to talk briefly about my screen time recently. I've had TikTok deleted on my phone ever since the end of 2023, but I still use it on desktop sometimes, and I found myself a couple times in the last few weeks just scrolling TikTok at night and not sleeping until like 3 in the morning, which is not good considering how busy I am during the day. I really need those hours of sleep. As such, I've made new restrictions for myself. I don't want to lose track of time scrolling on TikTok again. I have also decided to deactivate my Twitter, and I want to act as if I have the Instagram app deleted on my phone. I'm not going to delete it because the functionality of the app is still better than that of the desktop, but I don't want to get into the habit of using it again, because that's not where life is. Life is out here, you know what I mean? I've been working on college applications on and off throughout the last 3 months. I've submitted all of them except for 2 auditions I still have to submit, and I think I found great difficulty in working on them consistently because it feels like I'm microdosing the big period of change that's about to come when I do transfer to a university this fall. And it's an incredibly exciting moment, but I think change is a little daunting, even if it's exciting. But we're hoping to have those both finished by the end of the month, both being the 2 auditions I talked about earlier. But yeah. And now for some other miscellaneous things. Recently, I've been listening to Mazzy Star a lot, specifically their album Among My Swan. Black Country New Road came out with a new single, and I'm so excited for that album. I've also been listening to Kendrick Lamar again, of course, especially after the incredible Super Bowl performance he just put on. And I still go back to Tyler's Chromacopia, like at least once or twice a week. It's just so good. Other miscellaneous things. This year, I purchased this memo pad. I don't know if you can probably see that. I purchased this memo pad, and this is probably one of my favorite purchases I've made in the last 2 years. Just having something to scribble down little notes, to do simple math on, that sort of thing, is so useful. I've been using it almost every day just for things like to-do lists, notes for this video, for example. It's very useful stuff. Very, very useful stuff.
Something I forgot to mention is that for the last 4 months now, I have been using a single piece of paper as my daily schedule for work and school and weekly happenings. So this is January and February, and you can see me crossing out every day as I record. And this is March and April. But I just wanted to mention it because every time I bring it up to friends on call, they always think it's so insane. So I thought I'd share that with you.
I wanted to talk about self-love a little bit, just because it's become a lot more apparent in the last 2 months that I'm pretty bad at it. Oftentimes I feel like I'm overflowing with emotion and love, and I try to give that love away to other people in the hopes of receiving it back at least a little bit. And I think it's good to give love unconditionally, but it's so important for me to realize and understand that I have to give that love to myself, because I'm the one I spend the most time with, outside of all that. I think this year it's so important to take it easier. Everyone needs breaks, but I often feel this urge to just keep working because I need to make the most out of my time. But those moments of rest are just as necessary as the work. Self-care is important, and we are trying to get better at that. So, yeah. I think that's really all I have to say. If you've stuck around and listened to my ramblings this whole time, I really appreciate it. Thank you for your attention. And in closing and summation, I'm now going to open my poetry book for the first time, and read what I wrote. This is called February. Thank you. I swore January would never end. It was long, and it's already a memory. February has come and gone like it always does, the days already shifting from what is to what was, and here March comes. I approach this March older, though my hair looks the same. This February, I said long time no see to friends I had seen only 10 days prior, not because I was being ironic, but because even 10 days can feel like lifetimes when you miss someone. This February, I saw the Attack on Titan movie in 4DX, and when my neck started to hurt and my water spilled, I laughed at the absurdity of what I was experiencing, before taking in the knowledge that the last episode came out not a few months ago, but in November of 2023. How can months feel like minutes when days feel like lifetimes? Life's inconsistent pace will never make sense to me. This February, I saw more sunsets than I can count. I listened to every American football LP at least twice. I finished another box of lemon zinger tea, and I made hot chocolate a ritual for bad nights. This February, I told new friends I love them for the first time, and I decided it was time for me to start saying it to myself too. Thanks for being here, and happy spring.
We're burning